Unlock your potential in ESG.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our podcast. Unlock ESG is where you learn all about ESG. Hosted by Matters Academy, featuring in-depth discussions with seasoned sustainability practitioners to share the latest trends and solutions shaping our world today. You can stream video on Spotify and YouTube, and stream anywhere you get podcasts you can follow. Anyone out there that would like to give us any feedback or topics you're interested in, hit us up at our social media channels or send us an email to podcast@matters.academy. Last time, we explored the systems thinking and the Future Fit Business Benchmark, a strategic tool developed by the Future Fit Foundations to redefine corporate sustainability. As a quick recap, the Future Fit Business Benchmark, grounded in systems thinking, shifts the focus from incremental improvements to achieving sustainability goals that ensure businesses do not contribute to societal and ecological harm. We briefly covered the 23 break-even goals alongside 24 positive pursuit targets set forth by the benchmark, and mentioned that they encourage businesses to not only mitigate harm, but also actively contribute to societal benefits. Overall, the Future Fit Business Benchmark is applicable across various business sizes and sectors and designed for universality and scalability, offering a standardized approach to sustainability that aligns with the Sustainable Development Goals. By promoting a systemic change in how businesses operate, the benchmark aims to foster a future where companies are integral to a thriving society and a healthy planet, making it a useful tool for businesses aiming to adapt to and prosper in a rapidly changing world. In today's section, we will dive more into the break-even goals of the Future Fit Business Benchmark. As we mentioned in the last episode, a future fit business is one whose existence does not lead to any negative impact on the system conditions essential for a sustainable future. This means that its operations, products, and interactions within society do not undermine the health of our planet or the well-being of its inhabitants. Every business is part of a complex network called the value web, which includes suppliers, operations, products, and society. Each segment of this web represents areas where a company can influence or be influenced by various social and environmental factors. Let's take a look at the value web. Suppliers. This includes everyone involved in providing inputs needed for the company's products and services. The companies must ensure that these inputs do not cause or contribute to environmental or social harm. Operations. The day-to-day activities of a company must not negatively impact the environment or society. This includes managing the actions of its employees and the direct impacts of its operational processes. Products. The goods and services a company offers should not harm people or the environment at any stage of their life cycle, from production to disposal. Society. A company must act ethically in its interactions with societal institutions and infrastructure, ensuring its actions support the collective well-being. From a systems perspective, a business is not only responsible for its direct impacts, but also for those indirectly linked to its existence. This mutual accountability extends across the entire value web, from avoiding or mitigating negative impacts caused by its suppliers to designing and delivering products that do not harm users or the environment by considering the entire product life cycle. The break-even goals were designed to help companies identify and achieve a balance point where their operations no longer negatively impact the environment or society. This involves not only preventing harm, but also contributing positively wherever possible. The ultimate aim is to reach a state where the company's activities are sustainable and socially responsible, aligning with global efforts towards sustainability. To derive these goals, the Future Fit Foundation explored all the ways a company might negatively impact the system conditions, actions that could hinder the progress toward a future fit society. To determine the necessary behaviors to prevent these negative impacts. These behaviors were then translated into 23 clear and concise break-even goals. Each of the goals is concisely stated to be easily understood and communicated, specific to different segments of the value web, and collective in nature, covering all necessary aspects to ensure a company reaches its social and environmental break-even point. To track progress towards these goals, specific indicators are developed based on a set of design criteria. These criteria ensure that the indicators are practical, reliable, and universally applicable across different sectors and scales of business. Indicators not only help businesses to monitor and adjust their practices, but also enable stakeholders to make informed decisions based on reliable data. Here are the break-even goals, visualized in 8 key areas, including energy, water, natural resources, pollution, waste, physical presence, people, and drive. Due to the categorization under the 8 key areas, the goals may be out of order. In this podcast, we will just briefly go over each of the break-even goals. Each of the break-even goals have their own set of action guidance notes. The action guides are designed to integrate the break-even goals into your business operations efficiently, drawing from third-party resources cited in the benchmark's bibliography. Each guide serves as a practical starting point, providing detailed goal descriptions, critical statistics, and links to additional resources for a thorough understanding and implementation framework. The guides are structured into 5 sections: ambition, action, assessment, assurance, and additional information. The ambition section outlines the goal, its relevance to sustainable development, and its connection with other goals. The action section offers initial steps and advanced strategies for achieving future fitness, guiding businesses in introspection and strategic planning. The assessment section includes progress and context indicators for measuring organizational progress, while the assurance section explains how to validate these findings through independent audits, enhancing credibility. The additional information section offers practical examples and further reading to enrich guidance. As the benchmark is an open-source strategic tool, all of the break-even action guides can be found on the Future Fit Business website for free. Now, let's take a brief look at what each of the goals is about. In terms of energy, companies must ensure all energy used, including electricity, heat, and fuel, comes from renewable sources like solar, wind, wave, hydropower, geothermal, and biomass. This shift is essential to reduce dependency on finite and environmentally harmful fossil fuels. Responsible water use. Companies are required to manage their water usage sustainably, ensuring they do not compromise the water quality or availability for local communities and ecosystems. Practices must include minimizing water consumption, especially in water-stressed regions, and preventing pollutions in water discharges. Sustainable management of natural resources. Companies must harvest and manage natural resources in a way that respects the regenerative capacity of ecosystems and the welfare of local communities and wildlife. This includes responsible extraction methods that avoid environmental degradation and social conflicts. Elimination of harmful emissions. Operations must not release harmful chemicals or particles into the environment, including air pollutants, toxic fumes, and hazardous waste. Companies must maintain closed loops for hazardous substances or eliminate their use entirely. Zero greenhouse gas emissions. Companies are tasked with achieving net zero operational greenhouse gas emissions through direct reduction strategies and credible offsetting or sequestration methods. This is critical to prevent catastrophic climate effects due to high atmospheric GHG levels. Zero GHG emission products. All products must be designed to emit no greenhouse gases during use. This goal focuses on preventing indirect emissions from products powered by non-renewable energy sources. Safe products. Companies must ensure that their products, when used as intended, do not lead to environmental degradations or harm to human health. This includes all goods, whether sold, listed, or provided as part of commercial activities throughout their life cycle. Elimination of operational waste. Companies must strive to eliminate all avoidable operational waste and implement strategies to reuse, recycle, or repurpose any residual waste. This includes both hazardous and non-hazardous materials generated through company activities. Repurposability of products. It is essential for companies to design products that can be easily disassembled and repurposed at the end of their useful life. Providing customers with effective recovery services to maximize the post-use value of products is also a key aspect of this goal. Operations do not encroach on ecosystems or communities. Companies must ensure their operations do not harm ecosystems or local communities, respecting land rights, protecting aquatic ecosystems and high biodiversity areas, and avoiding culturally important locations. Future-fit businesses must safeguard these areas and mitigate negative impacts when expanding into new territories. Community health is safeguarded. Businesses must actively protect the health and well-being of the communities they affect, anticipating, assessing, and managing community concerns transparently and effectively. This proactive approach ensures that the company's operations do not detrimentally impact community resilience and health. Employee health is safeguarded. Companies must address both physical and mental health concerns in the workplace to prevent long-term negative consequences for employees. This includes minimizing work-related injuries and illnesses and promoting mental wellness through policy against bullying and harassment. Employees are paid at least a living wage. All employees should earn at least a living wage sufficient to cover basic needs and provide a decent standard of living for themselves and their families. This wage should be based on regional living wage standards and not include conditional bonuses or overtime. Employees are subject to fair employment terms. Future-fit companies ensure fair employment terms, providing secure employment, reasonable working hours, and adequate leisure and parental leave. Workers should also have the right to associate freely, including the right to unionize. Employees are not subject to discrimination. Companies must proactively ensure that all employment practices, from hiring to promotions, are free from discrimination based on personal characteristics. This involves regular monitoring and adjustments to maintain equity and equal opportunity for all employees. Employee concerns are actively solicited, impartially judged, and transparently addressed. Businesses must engage with their employees, addressing their concerns transparently and effectively to maintain their well-being and commitment. This includes establishing robust mechanisms for feedback and conflict resolution. Product communications are honest, ethical, and promote responsible use. Companies must communicate honestly about their products, avoiding misleading claims and ensuring that marketing targets appropriate audiences. This includes informing users of any potential negative impacts and promoting responsible usage. Product concerns are actively solicited, impartially judged, and transparently addressed. Companies must actively solicit and address customers' concerns regarding the environmental and social impacts of their products. This requires effective policies and procedures to ensure transparency and fairness in handling such concerns. Procurement safeguards the pursuit of future fitness. Companies must ensure that procurement practices do not negatively impact the environment or society. They are responsible for the goods and services they acquire and must implement policies to anticipate, avoid, and address any harmful supply chain impacts to achieve future fitness. Business is conducted ethically. Future-fit companies proactively prevent ethical breaches by identifying risk areas and implementing effective internal controls. This includes maintaining a public commitment to ethical conduct and responding effectively to ethical concerns, ranging from anti-competitive practices to abuse of trust. The right tax is paid in the right place at the right time. Companies must contribute to societal infrastructure through responsible tax practices, aligning their tax strategies with a commitment to transparency and adherence to both the spirit and the letter of tax laws. This ensures they support the services that benefit society and their business operations. Lobbying and advocacy safeguard the pursuit of future fitness. Companies must ensure their lobbying and advocacy efforts do not hinder the progress toward future fitness. They should avoid supporting any external initiatives that conflict with future fitness goals and must disclose their affiliations and contributions to influences. Financial assets safeguard the pursuit of future fitness. Companies controlling financial assets must ensure their investments do not harm environmental or social outcomes. This involves factoring and potentially modifying investment decisions to avoid supporting activities that counteract the pursuit of future fitness. In essence, the break-even goals are useful in guiding a business towards future fitness, encouraging companies to not only refrain from causing harm, but also contribute positively towards a sustainable future by making sure your business at least achieves at its extra financial break-even point. By aligning business practices with these goals, companies can create a foundation for long-term success that is both profitable and responsible. Again, as this strategic tool is open source and freely available to the public, you can find more information about it on their website. To move beyond the break-even point and bring positive impacts, the strategic tool has laid out the positive pursuits, which will be highlighted in a future episode. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. New episodes on Friday bi-weekly. Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn at Mattress Academy. Thank you and see you next time.